and I'm going to be on Meet in the Middle podcast. And it's awesome. Jake and Rachel and Danny and James are so good. They're the best dumb babies in the world. And you want to meet me. I'm Cheryl Chase, and I'm going to be talking with Danny, Rachel, Jake, and James, and they're amazing on the Meet in the Middle podcast. I'll talk about Rugrats. I'll talk about my new project, Schmidti Circuit, a live-action comedy web series that I'm really thrilled about. So join us at Meet in the Middle podcast.
Oh, Jesus, he's falling around the gap.
Do you think I come up with lightning in a bubble?
I know where I'm putting Debbie's sauce.
Hang on, can I submit my confession?
Hello, Middlers. Welcome back to Meet in the Middle podcast, season 4. So we're the podcast where Irish and British banter collide, bringing you chaotic laughs, bizarre confessions, and a whole lot of questionable advice. Yes, I'm Danny, of course, the Queen of the South, also known to have a bit of a big mouth. And I've got my lovely, lovely Jake. He is our lad from the north, always backward, incoming fourth, aren't you, Jake?
Yes. Hi.
And then there's our darling Rachel, the Belfast belter, who's actually a little bit of a melter. Hi, Rach.
Hi, only sometimes.
And then there's James, our Irish beauty, who loves himself an older cutie.
Yes, I
don't
do.
you, James?
Hello.
And we are absolutely delighted for our first episode back on season 4. We are joined by a very, very special guest. If you are a 90s kid, then we have absolutely no doubt you are going to instantly recognize this legendary voice. It defined a whole generation of us as we sat down every Saturday or every day to watch our Nickelodeon toons. Please welcome to the show, voice over and on-screen actress, all the way from sunny LA. It is Cheryl Chase.
Woo!
Hello, Cheryl.
Hey, Danny.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
You know exactly who it is. It's Angelica Pickles. I cannot tell you. I'm bowing down to you, literally. Because I know we're all massive fans. I'm a massive fan of the Rugrats.
Yep.
And when I knew that we'd secured you as a guest, I can't tell you how excited we were all to have the opportunity to chat with you. It's honestly beyond words.
Well, me too. I've been so excited to appear on your podcast, you know, when I found out about you. So, yes, the feeling is mutual.
I love it. Thank you so much. Well, all of our listeners in the UK and Ireland, they're all going to be familiar with you. But for those that perhaps might not have had the fortune of growing up with your voice, can you explain how it is that we might know who you are?
Well, back in the 90s, 1991, Nickelodeon premiered 3 cartoons. One was Doug. Another one was Ren and Stimpy.
Yes.
And then the other one was Rugrats. And I got the chance to be, well, actually on 2. I'm on Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats. I play Angelica Pickles.
Yes.
And Rugrats, we didn't think that it was going to be very successful. We thought it was only going to be 1 season. But it ended up being a billion-dollar global franchise when it's all said and done. So it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of the show and to be playing this little bratty 3-year-old.
Well, Cheryl, we're going to delve in a little bit more about all things Rugrats later on, and then Studio Ghibli, etc. But just let's start with a bit more about you. So, a young Cheryl, growing up in New Jersey, family life, school, etc. What was that like?
Well, you know, actually, I had a happy childhood. But you know what? When I'm with my parents, but when I was in school, I was made fun of. It was unmercilessly. They would make fun of my voice. And, you know, I'd be sitting in science class and my lab partner, you know, she'd slap my face, or someone else would put a bag over my head.
Jeez.
So So, or I'd be followed home and ridiculed. It was like just because of the way I talk. So,
That's crazy.
I know. So, but it's funny, ironically, you should ask about my, life in New Jersey. Next week I have to fly back there. My high school is honoring me.
Oh, no
I'm going to
way.
be
Wow.
inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's their first time having
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah, so it's all worth it,
Congratulations.
yeah.
Ain't that a pickle?
So yeah, I know, right? So that's going to be an honor.
So Cheryl, where did putting on voices and wanting to make people laugh come from? Was it as a kid or like growing up, or like where did all that come from?
Well, it just was naturally in me. I had this although I had this unique voice, but I didn't know it. I thought I sounded like everybody else. And my aunt, I was 7 years old, my Aunt Helene, I remember her saying, Sherry, don't talk like a baby. Stop talking like a baby. And I didn't get that. And then when I was in college, I remember I was singing, trying to sing anyway. And my friend next to me, she says, Sherry, you're singing like a baby. And I here I'm like 21 years old and they're telling me this again. And I don't know. So I knew I had this unique voice. I always liked to, growing up, this is going to date me, but there was a Carol Burnett. I don't know. Do you know the comedian?
Yes, I love Carol Burnett.
Well, she had a show way back when in the 70s, and it was called The Carol Burnett Show.
Mhm.
And I used to watch that religiously and mimic all the voices and the funny characters that were on there. And I used to create characters with my cousins. We used to put on little shows. And so I decided that, when I got older, I wanted to pursue voiceover. So, yeah, I was at college. This is around the same time when I was told I sound like a baby. I was walking down the sidewalk and I was, talking to my friend, and somebody ran up to me and said, you sound just like Glinda, the Good Witch from The Wizard of Oz. And I was like, what? And I never thought of that. I mean, I could try it now. Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Whoa.
Oh,
Yes,
my
that was spot on.
goodness.
You
I
don't
love
need to be helped any longer. You always had the power to go back to Kansas. So I would practice that. When I watched the movie and all the little munchkins and so I found out, wait, I can do voices. So I took classes while I was going to college for acting. I took classes and I ended up on camera. It didn't pan out too much for me, but voiceover paid off. So I followed that route.
That's
Amazing.
amazing. That is amazing. Just how you developed those voices and where it's all stemmed from. So obviously we briefly touched on some of the moments in your career, which we'll come on to later, but have you got some memorable moments that your voice work has given you that's just stood out so far in your career?
Well, are you talking about like during Rugrats or any
Just
time?
over any time, really, just overall from your start of your career to up to now.
Well, will have to say this was during Rugrats. This was in the beginning of Rugrats, in the beginning years. Barbara Bush, who is the president's wife, she chose Angelica to be like the reading readiness mascot for her reading program that she had throughout the country. So that was an honor. That was a big honor for me. I'd have to say that was like one of the most.
That was up there. You can't get any higher than the president's wife.
Yeah.
Amazing. Then you touched on just a minute ago that obviously the voice acting you did study, but the voice acting path is the path that you took, because you studied at the legendary Lee Strasberg Film and Theatre Institute, right?
Oh yeah, I studied there, and I studied there for 2 years while living in New Jersey. I would commute into New York, and I studied at a few different schools. But yeah, and
I know that one has like some very, as well as Cheryl Chase, there's like Alec Baldwin, Bridget Fonda, Angelina Jolie, Lady Gaga. They've all gone there as well.
Yeah, they've all gone there too. Yes, but when I moved out to Los Angeles, I studied a different technique. I didn't study Stanislavski. I went into the Sanford Meisner technique at the Joanne Baron D.W. Brown Studios. So that is where the technique that I embrace today. So, because that's the thing with voice acting, you just can't go in front of the microphone and read your script. You have to know how to act.
Right.
Acting is your core. So you have to have, you can do voiceover, but you've got to be trained to do the work. So, and I've taken a lot of classes, and I'm still taking classes.
Right.
It's an ongoing process.
Yeah, so you have to continually kind of develop that, right? It's always
Yes.
about learning and keeping it going. I'm just interested though, did you ever consider pursuing live action acting full time?
Well, yes, I did.
Okay.
But I haven't started until, like, fiercely starting it till now. What happened was, let me tell you, I was at the height of my Rugrat like fame. I don't know if you want to call it fame, but anyway,
It definitely is fame.
Yeah, for sure.
I was thinking, you know what? This is not going to last forever. I got to do something. And I invested in a business, and I thought, well, I'll be making money off the business, and then that will allow me to have the money I need so I can pursue my acting.
Right.
Wrong decision. Wrong. My friends were going, "What are you doing? Let's just be an actress." And I see what happened was I was doing an episode of Rugrats, and Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Chucky, she's also Bart Simpson.
Yes.
We were talking how she just got newly divorced, and I was looking for love. So anyway, I'm thinking, all right, so she's having problems, I'm having problems. What am I gonna do? Let's fix this. So I decided. I was in the shower. I remember. I'm going, wait a minute. I'm gonna start my own online dating service.
Oh,
Wow.
So back then we didn't have apps. What I did was I had a business manager, and I was talking to her about it. And so she helped me make the business, because I'm the creative person. She was the business person. Wrong decision. But it all depends who you align yourself with. You have to have the right people around you. And at that time I kind of didn't, but I didn't know that. So I created this dating service, creativemates.com, for all creative people to come mix and mingle and be, and in a creative community.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was going to turn out great, but it didn't in the end. I mean, when I was giving an interview at a Rugrats event, People Magazine was talking to me, and they're saying, "What else you got coming down?" And I go, "Oh, I'm doing this dating website, blah, blah, blah." They say, "Oh my gosh, that's a People Magazine feature article. Contact us when you're ready." And unfortunately, everything fizzled, and it didn't work out. So I had to, sell my home, and yes, it was not to make up for the expenses putting up with the business. So, but you learn your lessons. You learn a lot of lessons, and
right.
I'm not a business person in that area. I'm a creative. I mean, with the show that I'm doing now, I have the producer hat on, but I surround myself with actual award-winning producer directors who know what they're doing, and then I follow along. They're my mentors, but I can still be the creative soul that I am.
Well, thank you for that story of like how you ventured into other areas, and we're going to sort of circle back to Rugrats, which is one of your famous roles have been Angelica Pickles. Yeah. And when we were doing our research, we found that Angelica was ranked 7th in the 50 greatest cartoon characters of all time.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
How did you feel at the time when that got announced?
Oh, I was honored. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was above Betty Boop. I was above Fred Flintstone. The Tom and Jerry. And even I think, if I'm not mistaken, Homer Simpson, I think, was number 2. Bugs Bunny was number 1. Or no, Homer Simpson was 1. I think Bugs Bunny was 2. But Bart Simpson was like 17. He was like not as he was not in the top 10, and I was in the top 10. Angelica was in the top 10. So
Were you like, Nancy?
no,
I beat you twice.
she's really nice. She's a nice
Yeah.
lady. She was nice
I
to work
bet.
with. Yeah,
I bet.
yeah.
Oh, but that's a fantastic achievement, and obviously, Rugrats had so many moments for us as fans. Like
So
Rugrats
many.
in Paris was just like one of those iconic films, and within the
And
episode as
Cynthia.
well- and Cynthia.
Cynthia, yes. Yeah, you
Um,
can't forget Cynthia.
What was your favorite episode or moment to voice in the Rugrats?
I like the episode where Angelica fakes having a broken leg, and she's in Aunt Dee Dee's bedroom, and she has a little clicker, and she's ordering them around. I want you to open the window. Oh, I'm not cold anymore. Or I want a TV. I want to watch TV. So Stu hauls the TV up the stairs. Read now, or she wants chocolate pudding in the middle of the night. So he goes, it's 4 a.m. getting chocolate pudding, and he's making the chocolate pudding. And Dee Dee comes into the room, and she goes, "What are you doing?" "I'm losing control of my life." I don't know if you remember that, but that was like, and it's because of Angelica. So,
Yeah.
that was my favorite episode.
You can't help but just love her, can you?
Yeah.
Cheryl, what do you think makes Rugrats so enduring and like beloved by multiple generations?
Oh, that's easy. It's the writing. The writing is brilliant because the writers, when they were coming up with stories, they have families, and they would sit around the writer's table, and they would come up with situations that would happen in their own lives, and they would write about it. And they made jokes for the adults and made jokes for the kids, and that's why they're they're multi-generational. The audiences understood because they thought they were being talked to, and so and what was good was in the beginning Rugrats was on Saturday and Sunday at 10:30 in the morning, but then it caught on because Nickelodeon put it on Monday through Friday at 6:30 at the dinner hour. And so the families were home from work and school, and mom was making dinner, and it's time to watch Rugrats. And that was a bonding experience for the family.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think I remember watching it with my brothers. It was like it was a religion. Like here we've got a program called EastEnders. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's on every day of the week, and 6:30 everyone sits down to watch it. Rugrats was the same. It was like, our parents may still be sleeping. Let's go down, put the telly on, watch Rugrats.
Yes.
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 It's just incredible. And then of course I'm sure it's rerunning to this day. I'm sure it is probably still rerunning, right? And it had a bit of a revival, didn't it, on Paramount Plus?
Yes, they had a reboot. We just finished it. We just wrapped it up, and it's on to the net. I don't think Rugrats is going away. I think it'll come back in some form. I mean, they do have a movie in pre-production right now.
Oh,
A live action movie and a CGI together. So I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for that. I'd like to revive it.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
so we could be seeing CGI Rugrats in the coming years.
There is already CGI Rugrats. That's what they did for Paramount Plus, right?
Yeah, they did that, a CGI version. I kind of personally like the 2D version. I like the original. But you know what though? The kids of today are used to having CGI, and that's why they did that.
Okay.
So that the kids would recognize
to
it.
modernize it.
Yeah.
But how was it coming back to that revival of Angelica and the voice?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was like no time had passed once you start working on it. But at that time it was the pandemic, so we had to have studios in our home. So I was in my closet, doing the Rugrats and stuff. So, and then when the pandemic was over, we went into this. Well, I go into the studio. I prefer that than doing it at home. So, yeah.
Cheryl, take us back before the revival when the show was the massive success it was, and when you were told the show was going to come to an end. How did that feel for you and the cast? What was that day like when you found out?
Well, you know what? They don't tell you. You have to figure it out for yourself. They really don't.
Oh.
They don't sit you down and say, "Okay, this is what we did. This is what's happening now, and this is over." You just kind of hearsay things here, there, here, and then you
Right.
realize no more scripts are coming, and
Mhm.
so there's no really big reveal.
Right.
I don't remember.
So you can't prepare for it then?
No, yeah. You can't.
Oh.
But see, because the thing is, because you record the episodes, but then there's always post-production that you have to do. So I guess you hear about it that it's the last script, but you're still around for 3 months to do post-production. And then when
Okay.
post is finished, then they warn you, okay, we're gonna have a big wrap party, and then it's over.
Right, yeah. You're like, okay, I can put 2 and 2 together.
What was the rap party like? Was it emotional?
That if I told you, I don't think I could tell.
Or was it messy?
Yeah. No, I think I have to keep that to myself.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I'm picturing a few real life Rugrats crawling around the floor.
Oh yeah. No, it was fun it was fun seeing people. Not a lot of Rugrats cast was there,
Okay.
but Pre-Summer and myself and E.G. Daly was there, and
It's Tommy, right?
Tommy, yes, So
Nice.
and then they had a lot of production people.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, Rugrats was never really just a cartoon, especially like for the four of us, and I'm sure a lot of listeners at home, that it was a defining childhood show for many of us. What was
100%.
the auditioning process like for Angelica?
Well,
Ooh.
I was working for Ren and Stimpy at the time. I was in the production offices of Spunko, and the bosses would let me go to auditions. And so I had this thing for Rugrats, so I went, and it was the pilot, Tommy. There was a character, Tommy, and Phil and Lil. So
Right.
I tried out for those, then went away. A year and a half came by. The show was bought, so they were going into production, and so they needed two more. They needed 2 more characters. So I went back to audition for Angelica and Chucky, and I got Angelica. And it was kind of cool. I didn't think anything of it because I was really feeling happy with my life. I was going to acting school at night, and I was had a really good job with the Ren and Stimpy show, and I, was working little odd jobs. So I was at The Simpsons, and I was working, doing a job at The Simpsons. And back then we didn't have cell phones, so that they had to stop and say, Cheryl, you have your agents on the line, So I went in the hallway and I picked up the phone, and he said, oh, Cheryl, you got Rugrats, you're Angelica. And I thought, I was so happy because I wanted a series so badly back then. Oh, I wanted it so bad. And I got it. And it came when I wasn't desperate. It came when I wasn't even looking, and like the universe kind of blessed me with it. And it was just a really great feeling.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Amazing. So Cheryl, Angelica is an iconic character. Like, she's bratty and hilarious. How did you develop her voice and personality?
Well, actually, how did I develop her voice? I was doing a lot of ADR work for movies for babies. I did a lot of baby work. I was in Addams Family Values. I was baby Pubert.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you know this movie with Diane Keaton, Baby Boom. I was the baby in that. So
Total Recall? Did you do that as well?
Oh, I was in Total Recall. I was a Martian. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I was known for doing baby voices. And so, I looked at the character breakdown of Angelica. She's 3 years old. And I thought, what would a 3-year-old sound like? What would I sound like a 3-year-old? And what you got to do when you want to talk like a baby or a child, you have to squeeze your vocal cords really like that. The baby, but then you want to talk a little, loosen them up a little bit, and then you sound like Angelica. It's how you kind of use your vocal cords, squeezing them and relaxing them.
Nice.
Can I do a little baby like that?
You sound so
Rachel, you can do the crying, can't you? You can do a baby cry.
A crying?
Yeah, can you not do a baby cry?
When?
I thought you did it before.
No.
Maybe I'm just calling you a little crybaby.
I can do a few like funny things, but you sure you know that. Anyway, my trumpet voice in
Yeah,
that.
go on, give Cheryl your trumpet.
Give Cheryl your trumpet.
Whoa! Amazing! That's amazing. Yeah. I'll have to
Don't
put
give her
that
a
in
big
my
head,
resume.
Cheryl.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. We can have a lot of fun.
Yes, exactly.
So, Cheryl, a wee bit more about Angelica. Do you think she has a softer side that fans didn't always see?
Ooh.
Nah. No.
No. She's just a little brat.
I mean, there's nothing. Actually, no. You have to have vulnerability. Angelica does have vulnerability, and I mean, in Rugrats in Paris, I think that was a very vulnerable moment for her when things went. Or I don't remember the whole story of Rugrats in Paris, but I do remember her crying and saying she's sorry.
Yeah.
And so you have to have a full bodied character, especially the villains. You have to love the villains. You don't want to hate them. So
Exactly.
they have to have those kind of side. They have to have that side to them.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of like weird or funny interactions that you've had because of Rugrats or Angelica in life, in
I love these
situations?
stories.
Well, let's see. This is, well, I don't know. This is funny to me, but I was at a 7-Eleven, and this was before they had a lot of like Rugrat merchandise. Like I found a little music box with the Rugrats on this little tiny music box in 7-Eleven. You guys know what 7-Eleven is?
Yeah.
It's a convenience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
James loves a Slurpee.
I
from
love a
7-Eleven.
Slurpee. Cherry Slurpees. Yeah, that's my thing.
Okay. Well, I was in 7-Eleven and I opened the box and it's saying, "You are my sunshine." It didn't have a Rugrats song in it. It just said, "You are my sunshine." So anyway, I wanted to buy it. So I went up to the cashier and I go, "Oh, I can do her voice." And he, meaning it, and he looked at me like, he gave me this look like, "Yeah, right." But he didn't know. I forgot to like elaborate that no, I am her voice.
Yeah.
And so, but I'll never forget his look like, "Yeah, right, lady."
I can just picture.
Yeah. It was kind of funny. So that was weird. Let me think what else. One time I was at a university and I was walking up the stairs and this like 14-year-old girl ran up to me and she says, "Are you Angelica on the Rugrats?" And I go, "Yes." Yeah, and she heard me talking and she thought that that's who I was. And that's the only time I was recognized like that, like you are her. They always,
eyes lit up.
Yeah, everybody thinks your voice sounds real familiar to me.
Yeah.
I don't know where I've heard you. And then I tell them and they go, "Yeah." So, but that was only one time I was discovered for being her. Yeah.
Well,
That's
Rugrats
amazing.
had a lot of adult jokes that were hidden in it. If you listen out for them, you'll hear them. But were there any lines that you didn't realize were cheeky or off the cuff until later on?
I think there was, but I don't remember. I have to say I don't remember, but I know they're there. They're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those cheeky writers. They know what they're doing.
They're
They know how to work them in.
They're cheeky. Cheeky writers.
Do you have any memorable like moments recording Rugrats? Like your most memorable, like anything sticking out, standing out, like funny moments while recording?
Well, actually, when we were doing Rugrats in Paris, I had my lines recorded already. It was fun because I got to go to the Paramount lot and record there in the big sound stage. It was so thrilling.
Amazing.
So I did that. And then Susan Sarandon, who plays Coco in the movie, she wanted Paramount to fly me out and work with her. So I got to fly to New York and go into a recording studio with Susan Sarandon and give her and act
Wow.
with her back and forth with the lines, because she never did a cartoon movie before, and it
No
was
way.
it was new territory for her, so she felt uncomfortable. So she wanted it to be organic. So they had
Yeah.
me fly out there, and oh, that was an amazing experience. She was so nice, and
I love
know,
that.
yeah,
I think, like you say, as an actor, you need to develop, and obviously, like for her, that was a way to kind of feed off of you and
Yeah.
your experience. That's incredible.
oh
What a
yeah,
moment.
yeah. And you have to tell you, Paramount really treats you well. I mean, they, I remember we were doing in the Rugrats movie, the very first movie, they broke us up, and we like I was with Norton Vergine. He's one of the directors, animation directors, and so me and him went on a 5 day city tour. We went to we would fly to different cities, San Francisco, you know, Texas, places in Texas, all around the country. And Paramount would treat you like gold. I remember I was in Chicago, and I was on like the 10th floor, and I was in this bubble bath, and that was the Chicago skyline was there, and I was having chocolate covered strawberries.
Amazing.
And it was so funny. And then I heard this ring, this like, what was that? And I thought and it was like my room had a doorbell. So I had to go and put a robe on, and I answered the door, and it was a butler. A butler asked, "Excuse me, ma'am, can I get you need more champagne?" And I go, "No, I don't drink." It's like, "Oh no, I'm fine. I have everything I need." But I just thought, "Oh my gosh, I have a butler, at my service."
You were literally that was like Angelica with the broken leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just need the clicker.
exactly. Right, exactly. Oh, but that was it was a fun experience. Yeah.
That sounds like a life I could get used to. Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I love that.
We briefly mentioned that Rugrats has had a revival on Paramount Plus, but if Angelica was created today and the script writing was done today from scratch, would you think that Angelica would have a different catchphrase in 2025? And if so, what do you think it would be?
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, you know what? I think Angelica, her catchphrase would be, "I wish I was you so I could be friends with me." That's
Yes.
yeah, that's her. That's Angelica to a T.
100%. That's
I love that.
I'm picturing you using Gen Z slang like skibbity toilet.
Would that be the same in America?
That is American.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
American.
it is American, yeah. Skibbity toilet.
Wait, no. Skippity. Wait, what is that, James? The skippity toilet? What is that?
I'm even too old because I'm a millennial. It's a Gen Z slang. I don't even fully understand it. They say that, and then they say like Riz. I'm out of the loop too, Cheryl. So I'm not sure.
I'm out of the loop. I'm out.
It's something bad, I think. Anyway, if something's bad, you'll say that's skibbity toilet.
Okay. What age group says that? What age group says
Gen
that?
Z. So what would that be? Like 12 to 14?
Yeah.
Skippity toilet.
Yeah. I don't understand
Sounds
it.
weird.
Let's go to
Sounds
the skippity
weird.
toilet or skip off to the toilet.
Yeah.
That's what would come to mind.
Oh boy.
We love Angelica, right, as she is.
Yeah.
But if there was one thing you could change about Angelica, what would it be?
I don't know. What would I? Because she's so perfect as she is.
Mm.
More maybe eat vegan cookies instead. I don't know. Eat more healthy things, perhaps. I don't know.
Well,
I'd love to see her as a brunette.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That might be different. Yeah.
mhm.
But then blondes have more fun, they say.
But they blondes do have more fun. Yes.
What was it like stepping back into the role of Angelica after all those years? Was there extra pressure with the gap from when last aired to now?
Well, there was a little pressure because they had all of us audition for our roles. We had to, either go into the studio. I myself I wrote and recorded an Angelica demo, and I sent it to them, and I had to wait and wait and wait. And then I know E.G., she went in like 4 times to audition for her own role
Ooh,
of Tommy
wow.
Pickles.
Wow.
And
my
and
goodness.
then actually, yeah, we all had to wait. And it's grueling. You know, you want to know, you brought this character to life, and and made
For so
Nickelodeon,
many
and
years.
yeah, so many years, and you still have. Well, I guess it's been a long time, so they want to know if your voice is still,
Hmm.
if it's still there. So I think that they
Uh-huh.
made the right decision. I would have, if I was them, I would have done the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just going to dive into some more other roles, Cheryl. So you've voiced so many other characters beyond Angelica. Is there a role that people may not realize was you?
Oh yes. When I do Comic Cons autograph signings, and everybody sees I'm Angelica, but when they find out that I'm Little May and My Neighbor Totoro, they go bonkers. Because they love My Neighbor Totoro, and I'm the original Little May in the movie, and then later on Disney acquired it and they recast it. But um, yeah, that was a wonderful opportunity to be work for Studio Ghibli. I met my husband doing that
Oh,
movie.
wow.
Yeah, but we didn't get married till 30 years later. So
Ah.
yeah, but his company was distributing the movie. He was dubbing the Japanese into English, and that's when I
Yeah.
came in and auditioned. I got the part, and then we did the whole thing. So
That's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. I love just knowing that there's a voice that you've listened to for so long, and you don't realize it's an actor that you've listened to in a other role as well. So it's fascinating to know that.
Yeah, May was pre Angelica, Little May. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That is just knowing that. Obviously, there's so many myths flying around. Is there any myths in regards to acting? Is there a myth about voice acting that you'd love to just use this moment now to debunk that you have?
Well, the myth is everyone thinks, oh, if they have a unique voice, they think they can do voiceover, and that's not the case, because it's hard. It's really hard work, and the character has to come from the inside of you. It just can't be like like a shticky voice. If you have to be at one. You act with your body and your voice, and it comes out of your body. So you really have to be in the right headspace, know where to place the character, so you can sustain the character through all different kinds of things that's required in the episode. But people just aren't aware. They ask me all the time, "Oh, I have this voice. How can I get into voice?" I wish I had $1 for every time people ask me how they could get into voiceover. I'd be having a ranch in Santa Barbara or something. But yeah, I think the myth is that you have to. It's acting. You have to know how to
Yeah.
act. Yeah.
It's not a case of going into a studio, putting a pair of headphones on and just reading lines from a script. Like you
Exactly.
say,
Yeah.
it's the acting. You have to embody that character. You have to have gone on the journey of developing that character, the voice. And so yeah, I can understand that it's probably quite a big job.
It's a big job. Yeah.
In a way, I'd even see voice acting as more method than physical acting.
Yeah, actually it is, because there's different criteria, and there's different well, I mean, can you explain yourself, James, when you say more method?
As in staying in character. You think just because the camera's not on you, you don't have to be in character, but you kind of need to be in character more so to come across on audio only.
Yeah, that's true, because the audience doesn't see doesn't see the where the voice is coming from. And so
Right.
once when you see somebody on stage or on camera, they're on camera acting, you see their body, and a lot of the messages are given through the body, the body language, but you only have the voice in voiceover. So that is true what you're saying, James.
Have you ever lost your voice from doing voiceover stuff, and then maybe you've been like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do Angelica's recording?
Well, see, actually, you know Rosie O'Donnell, That Rose
Yeah.
has on. Yeah.
She actually lives
Okay,
in Ireland now.
Oh, that's right. I read that she does.
Hmm.
Well, back in the 90s, she had a show, a talk show. She was a major fan of Angelica. So she asked me, well, not me personally, I never met her, but she had Angelica's voice be on her Christmas album. So she would be singing a song with Angelica.
That's amazing.
I tell you, I was practicing and practicing and practicing so much that I was hoarse and it was like I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus was the song.
Perfect song for
And
Angelica.
and I over practiced it, but somebody told me, my voice coach told me to have what a good tip for voice acting and if you lose your voice in general or it's too irritated, to have hot chicken broth. Not
Oh.
no chicken stock, not chicken soup. It's the
Right.
stock,
Mhm.
the
Yeah, the
fat
drink.
with the fat in it. So
Ooh.
not fat free. You have to have the fat in it, the chicken fat. And I'm telling you, it works like a charm.
Wow.
So I was able to get through the recording, but I didn't sound like I wanted to sound. Like really.
Mm.
I'm just really critical of myself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was probably just for yourself. I'm sure it sounded amazing for everyone else.
I
Is
bet
there,
it did.
is there any
Thank you.
modern cartoons from when Rugrats ended to now that you'd love to lend your voice to?
Actually, I'd like to have a part on The Simpsons. That would be fun. Yeah. I mean, I'm up for a part on The Simpsons. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm still waiting to hear. Probably not. I don't know.
We're gonna manifest it.
Yeah, we're
We're
gonna-
gonna manifest it.
Please do.
Come
please
on.
do.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
So
Yeah.
that probably would be the place. Yeah.
Can Nancy not put a word in for you to Matt?
Well, you know what? Years ago in the 90s, there was a video game. It's either a video game or a commercial. I don't remember exactly. But Nancy didn't want to do the job, so I auditioned and I got it. So I played Bart Simpson for one little job years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Amazing.
yeah. It was fun.
Can we hear a little snippet of your Bart Simpson?
Well, I don't know. I have to let me cowabunga, dude.
Wow,
That is brilliant.
Hey, woman, give me some donuts. So
That's
so
amazing.
I have to practice and get into it. But
No, that was
he's in
perfect.
there. He's
Yeah.
in it. Well, thank you.
Incredible.
Oh, that's just incredible hearing all those stories. So, and what we want to do is we want to come up to the here and now and talk about Schmidti Circuit.
Oh,
Yes.
great. I'm so excited.
So we've seen that you've just launched a new, you launched the Kickstarter campaign for Schmidti Circuit.
Yes.
It's an exciting new live action comedy with a bit of animation in there as well. Can you tell our listeners at home a bit about it and your role and who's involved with it?
Yeah. Okay. Schmidti Circuit, as you say, live action comedy web series. People, they think that when I'm involved that it's a cartoon, but this is my venture into the on-camera world. And Schmidti Circuit my character is a washed up 90s cartoon star. And she is telemarketing. She's taking care of her bedridden mother, who I do the voice of. My name is Martha Culpepper. and my daughter Carol, she's a wash-up. She's a loser. But boy, does she know how to change a diaper. So,
Oh, this sounds
I love
brilliant.
how you get into character too.
Yeah.
Like what we were talking about. Like you just automatically switch, even though you're not on screen. It's brilliant.
oh, thank
Amazing.
you. Oh, thanks, Rachel. But yeah, I mean, no, the Culpepper family, they're quirky. Martha is a narcissist and she like gives everybody a bad time. I mean, Carol's son Jason, he's a bumbling magician. And what happens was he botched up a magic trick, which made Carol's toy robot come to life. And in the middle of the night, the robot comes to life. And in the morning, he's making breakfast for the family. And the family is like freaked out because they have this live talking robot
Uh-huh.
and so, he becomes the Culpepper butler. And it has a lot of zaniness, a lot like Jason, he's a virgin. So Schmidti the robot, wants to help him find a girl. So he's his wing bot.
Right.
Carol needs a social media manager. So Schmidti is her social media manager. So it's a wacky, fun-filled show.
It
Wingbot.
sounds
I love it.
absolutely brilliant. I'm so
Aw.
excited for it,
Oh,
as I'm
thank you.
sure you are too. So,
Yes.
so like for fans who like loved Rugrats and classic animation, what do you think is going to make this Schmidti circuit a must watch? What kind of audience do you think is going to really like love it the most? Who's it going to really resonate with?
Well, I'm hoping my fans, my fans
Mhm.
are the demographic is like late 20s, mid 30s, that little demographic.
Uh-huh.
That reels you
but-
out, Danny and Jake. I'm sorry.
I know it doesn't rule me out. I'm 100% tuning into this.
No, just
There's
me
babies.
and Rachel. That's
It's
it.
just us two with the babies.
Cheryl, don't worry. You've got. I'm a massive fan. I will be watching,
Oh, thank
and I'll
you.
even see if I'm going to have a look at the Kickstarter as well and see if there's any kind of perks, which I'm sure we're going to come up and talk about in a moment,
Oh,
and see
good.
if there's any that I like.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
if any of our listeners want to listen to it or have a look at the Kickstarter, it's in the video description of this video. So check it out.
I have some really good co-stars on the show. Chris Bartlett. He's been working for George Lucas for 17 years. He's a part of the Star Wars TV franchise. He's on
Uh-huh.
He's on the Mandalorian. He's on Boba
wow.
Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi. He plays droids. He builds droids for George Lucas. George Lucas
Wow.
flew him up to Marin County, put him in a room, and said, "Okay, this is what I want. This is the kind of droid I want." And Chris had to build it for him right there. And so now he wants to go on camera. He wants to be an on-camera actor. So he's in my show, and he plays my brother. He plays Calvin Culpepper to Carol, my character Carol.
Nice.
So I have it now. The actress that's playing Schmidti, she is in the Star Wars TV franchise as well. She is a little person, and she plays Jawas. So she's on the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and all those shows. She's going to be wearing the Schmidti costume. Chris is building the costume,
Wow.
and Leilani is going to be wearing it while we're shooting. But in post production, I will be doing the Schmidti voice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I cannot
in
wait. This is
post production.
I'm excited for this.
Oh, goody! Yay! Thanks,
100%.
James.
Have you worked to kind of see what the bot's going to look like and how it's going to be built? Have you seen like early prototypes or?
Yes, we have. But you know what he said? He wants to wait until the process is done before re-release, like the costume. We do have I guess you call it a prototype of what it looks like. Oh, let me see. Oh, wait, I know. Let me show you this. Hold on. I'll show you this. Just a second.
Is this an exclusive?
Oh,
Yeah, this is the
Oh,
That's
wow.
Schmidti. That's little Schmidti.
Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah. So it's going to be a really fun show. I'm very thrilled. I mean, I
cannot wait.
have a great production team. I have wonderful cast and crew. It's going to be a great show.
You know what I'm thinking?
I bet.
Is there room for an 86-year-old woman from Texas on Schmidti Circus? Danny does an amazing 86-year-old Texan woman.
Do you do that voice?
Danny does.
I have a character called Meta Granny.
Oh my gosh.
Who's in virtual reality, and yeah, she's a Southern Belle, baby. She speaks like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, you want to be my friend there, Granny? You want to go to the bars and play poker? Yeah,
How about
I think
that?
we should go. I
Yeah,
like you.
I'll
I
go to
like
the
your
bar.
vibe. Yeah.
I'll get myself an Arnold Palmer, honey.
Yes.
That's-
amazing.
That's great. That's great.
We're so excited about this project, and I know that on your Instagram you're releasing like loads of videos and stuff like that, and we've been watching, and you know there's lots of ways for people for people to see kind of your process as
Yeah.
well as joining your Kickstarter. So I would encourage people to go and follow you
Mhm.
on Insta to be able to see the videos that you're whacking out and the other podcasts that you're doing as well, because it's fascinating, really is.
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you, Danny.
excited.
Oh, thank you,
wait for this.
Danny. I appreciate that.
Can you tell people, like, can you tell us how people can get involved in your new project? Like,
Well,
what platforms? Like,
well, if they go to CherylChase.com, there's links to the Kickstarter. And, you know, if you go on Kickstarter, just type in Schmidti Circuit and I'm there and you can find it. But do you have the link that you can post and so that they can
Yep.
find it?
yeah,
Yeah.
we
the
will.
link is
Yeah.
going to be
Absolutely.
in the description of this video.
Oh, fabulous. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh. And
That's
follow
great.
me on Instagram, Real Cheryl Chase. Yes.
Do it.
Yes,
Do it.
make sure you do.
And yeah, I cannot wait to keep an eye out for Schmidti Circuit.
Oh, thank you,
It was so fun.
No
James.
problem. Cheryl, we're going to do a little quick rapid fire question round, if that's okay with you. If you're up for
Okay,
it.
okay. Yes.
Okay, right.
I'd
So, if Angelica had a TikTok account, what type of content would she post?
She would probably post how to put makeup, you know, how to do the best makeup or how to bake the best cookies or how to how to give the dumb babies a hard time.
I love it.
Probably that. Yes.
Subscribed.
Yeah, subscribe. Which Rugrat parent do you think was the worst at parenting?
I think Charlotte was the worst. Yeah,
Okay.
because she was always on her cell phone and no, she I think she was, yeah.
Right.
But a bit.
Is she a lesbian now, that one?
Oh no, the lesbian. Oh, no, that is Betty. Betty is the lesbian now.
That's right.
Betty is the Phil and Lil's mom, and in
That's
the
right.
in the new reboot, they made her a lesbian.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a whole backstory waiting to happen there, which could lead on to this question. If you could pick one character from Rugrats to get their own spin-off, who would it be?
Oh well, you know, I would have to say my character Angelica because she should have her own show. She really should.
Mhm.
She's her own woman, and she could be have a whole universe of characters around her, and I don't know. I think it would have been fun, you know, to have that.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
she's strong. She's a strong character and can be a good role model in the different. And I don't know. I just would love for her to get her own show.
Yeah, so would I. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Yeah.
pranked anybody using Angelica's voice
No,
Or
I
did a
didn't.
takeaway?
that you can admit
no,
to?
No, I didn't. No. Mm-mm.
I don't believe
I said it's a
you.
liar.
Well, actually, I was living in Santa Monica and I had the front door closed and it was a screen door and you couldn't see in. You can see out, but you couldn't
Mhm.
see. Nobody could see me. So there was a salesman at the door and I just pretended to be, you know, Angelica, and I said, "Mommy's not home right now." And then he left, and then he says, "Okay." So then he left. So that's how we did him.
Yeah,
But I remember doing that. Yeah.
nice. Right, so picture this. You're trapped on an island, but you can only bring one cartoon character to help you survive. Who is it?
Oh, I have to say Bugs Bunny because
Aw.
he was my favorite character growing up, and he is just he never once he wants something he never stops. He goes after what he wants and he gets it,
Mhm.
and he's a trickster and he eats healthy. So I would have
Yep,
somebody,
he does.
yeah. So carrots. So yeah, I think me and him, we could hang out and have fun. Yeah,
Love that.
yeah.
Right, and then the last one to take us out. If you had to spend a day as Angelica Pickles in real life, what would be the first thing that you do?
Oh my gosh, I'd take my credit card and go to Rodeo Drive. I would go to a spa and
Yes.
all day spa, and then in the evening I would go to the finest restaurants and enjoy myself there and bring all my friends and have a party on a rooftop overlooking Los
Amazing.
Angeles.
I want to be Angelica's friend.
Oh, Danny, you can come on over. I'll be your
Yes.
Yes.
Coming.
Yeah.
Well, sure, we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to do a little bit of a quiz, a bit of a 90s nostalgia quiz. It'll just be 5 questions. There's 4 answers, and 1 will be the correct answer. So, just a little bit of fun, a little bit of friendly competition.
Okay.
And
This is something we do on all of
we
our
do this
episodes.
every week against each other. So, yeah,
I
good
normally
luck. Can we hear? I don't know. You can just buzz in, like you can make a Angelica noise. You can. Can I hear like a buzzer from you? Yeah.
Yes.
Babies!
Yes.
Leave me alone, you bald-headed idiot!
So we'll
Don't talk
go.
about Jake like that.
We'll go with that with you for your buzzer. Danny, can I hear your buzzer?
Yes.
I'm not finished yet!
Brilliant. James, let's hear yours.
Okay, here it is.
And lastly, but not least, let's hear Jake's.
Okay, so I'm going for the iconic thing when you woke up, turn the TV on.
Yes.
Nostalgia.
Oh my God, remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so fingers on buzzers or mouth voices. Are we ready for the first question?
Okay.
Yes.
Ready.
Which popular handheld electronic pet released in 1996?
I'm not finished yet!
Who was that? Was that Jake?
Me.
It was me.
No, it was Danny.
It was
Sorry.
the gibberish.
Was it?
James. It was
Oh,
James.
I'm getting confused with all these different noises. Okay, James, go for it.
Tamagotchi.
He always wins. Yeah, that was right. The Tamagotchi, the handheld virtual pet that needed feeding, cleaning, and care to survive. So remember, there is 4 answers, and only 1 is correct. And if you want to wait the whole time to hear the answers,
Sorry.
you can. You don't jump the gun. Are we ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Ready.
What was the name of the colourful rubber bracelets that people would slap on their wrists, which became a huge trend in the early 1990s? Was it A, jelly bracelets, B, slap bracelets, C, friendship bracelets, or D, power bracelets?
I'm not finished yet!
James?
Were they slap bracelets?
Here he goes again. Yes, they were slap bracelets, colourful
He wins
metal
all the time.
bracelets covered in fabric that would slap onto your wrist. Do you know the ones that like, and then they go around your wrist?
Mm-hmm.
You know who needs a slap, don't you?
Yeah, you, James. So we'll go with question 3. Are we all ready?
Yes.
In the 90s, which popular bubblegum brand came in a roll and was known for its extreme length? Danny?
I did it too early. I was going to say Hubba Bubba.
Hubba bubba bubba bubba.
No, unfortunately, it wasn't Hubba Bubba. Are you going to listen to the rest of the question? And answers? Danny?
I just wanted to beat James.
So, in the 90s, which popular bubblegum brand came in a roll and was known for its extreme length? Was it A, Bubblicious? Was it B, Big League Chew? Was it C, Bubble Tape? Or was it D, Hubba Bubba? We obviously know that it wasn't Hubba Bubba. Does anybody want to buzz in? James?
Bubblicious.
No.
Oh, he didn't get it.
No. Cheryl, do you want to?
I have no clue. I have to tell
No
you.
idea? Okay.
No idea.
Jake?
Can you, Cheryl? Can you understand Rachel's accent?
Can I understand what?
Rachel's accent, because we struggle sometimes.
You
Oh,
can?
no, I love her accent. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
Do you want to take a guess?
Me? Take a guess?
Yeah.
Take a guess.
What's the other 2 options that she has?
Hubba Bubba. Hubba Bubba.
No, it wasn't Hubba Bubba.
That's what I said. and got
Sorry,
it wrong.
Cheryl.
Oh, sorry.
Was it bubble tape?
It was, Jake. You're on the board. Yeah, it was Bubble Tape. It's 6 feet of bubble gum for you, not them, was the iconic slogan.
That is definitely some bubble gum that Angelica would have had.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, she would have.
Yeah.
Come on, Angelica, we'll have to get you on the board here. I'm sorry, I'm calling you Angelica. Sorry, this is so easy.
That's okay.
Sorry, Cheryl.
No worries.
Question 4. Before MP3 players, kids in the 90s often carried which portable music device to listen to cassette tapes?
Yeah.
Danny?
That would be the Walkman.
It was indeed the Walkman. The Sony Walkman was the go-to portable cassette player before CDs became mainstream.
I'm on the board.
That is very nostalgic. And question 5, last but not least. What was the name of the beeping furry robotic toy released in 1998 that spoke its own language? Was it A? Oh, Cheryl, do you want...
No, I want to hear
you.
you.
Give you the answer? Yeah?
Yeah, I want
Was
to
it
hear
A, Tickle Me Elmo? Was it B, Tamagotchi? Was it C, Fur Baby? Or was it D, DJ Pet?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, Digipet.
No.
No. Oh,
It wasn't indeed. Sorry, Cheryl.
I'm no good. Yeah.
Danny?
Furby.
It was indeed the Furby.
Yes.
Well done.
Remember the little small, like teddy bear kind of with the ears
eyes opened
and
up.
the eyes rolled? Yeah. The
It's come to
Furby.
life.
So
In the middle of the night.
I didn't collect the score, but I am assuming.
I got 2.
I got 2. Jay
Right.
got 1. So it's a draw.
Okay, so there's a tie. There's a draw this week. Yeah,
I'm happy with the draw.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
We'll
take
share
that.
it.
Boy.
That was just a little quick 90s quiz, something to bring us
Yes.
back to.
Well, it shows you I'm not the. I guess I kind of lost track of the 90s. I don't
I'm
remember.
sorry, Cheryl.
I lost pretty much track of all the 90s as well, so don't worry.
Okay, all
You're
right.
not alone.
Okay.
But no, you're too wrapped up in the Rugrats universe, and that's why we love the Rugrats. And you brought the character of Angelica to life, and it has a place in all our hearts. And we just want to say
does.
a massive thank you, Cheryl, for
Yes.
joining us on
Thank
our
you.
first episode back.
Oh, thank you so much. I had a lovely time with you. You guys are great.
Oh, thank you.
So are you.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
We
thank you.
love you to bits, and I say
Yes, love you.
Thank you for-
Love you so much.
talking about things Rugrats and your upcoming project, Schmidti Circuit, which we'll put all the details within. And just as a last minute reminder, do you want to let our listeners know on how they can support you with Schmidti Circuit?
Yes. Make sure. Just if you know me, I have a website, CherylChase.com. Go there, and you can find out more information about Schmidti, and you can get connected to the Kickstarter. Yeah.
Amazing.
Right, and the Kickstarter, it has different kind of like perks, right?
Yeah.
So you can get involved in so many different ways. You know, if
Yeah.
you've got the money, spend it, because you can get to spend like
Yeah.
time with you and the team.
Well, we have some fun. We have some fun rewards. We have posters, signed posters. We have dinner if you pay. It all depends, what tier the rewards are. But there's one opportunity where you can have lunch with me, and another opportunity we can have dinner with myself, with the director, with the other cast members.
Wow.
Amazing.
Chris Bartlett, and we have a red carpet experience. People could have dinner and come to the red carpet premiere, either in LA
What
or
an experience.
in
I'd love
LA
to do
or
that.
New York. And then another one is if people have the acting bug, I would write a special part just for that person so they can appear on Schmidti Circuit with us
No
and act.
way.
Yeah. So
That is brilliant.
we have a lot of fun rewards.
So many ways for people to get involved. Go and check it out, listeners. Honestly, there is loads to choose from, and get excited for it as well, because
I am.
we're going to be tuning in.
Yes.
Oh, good.
sure.
Oh, I'm so thrilled. Yes. And would I be able to come back and talk about, the whole experience of doing Schmidti Circuit after You know, in a few
Absolutely.
months after it's all done.
100%.
We'd be
yeah.
delighted
Absolutely.
if you want to come back on Meet in the Middle podcast.
Oh, that would,
Angelica Pickles, yes.
that would be an honor. Thank you, guys. Yeah,
No, it's been an
Thank
honor
you.
having you.
Thank you so much.
thanks.
Thank you. So that just brings us to an end of our first episode back
Yes.
of season
Wow.
4. And
Amazing.
we just want to say thank you to our listeners for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcast from. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.
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 Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, there's plenty more where that came from.
So hit subscribe and don't miss the next Unhinged Confessional.
And hit that bell icon and turn on notifications. Trust me, next week's episode is wild.
Are you still here? Click that video already. You know you want to.